Hello, my name is Logan. I'm not really used to taking videos of myself or anything like that, and I definitely don't have a script or anything. Kind of just spitballing. Um, yeah, I figured that I would attempt to make a YouTube channel. This is obviously the first video that's going to be on it. Um, I've been going through a lot of changes recently in my life. Um, Definitely isn't the easiest season by any means. Um, so I figured I would just, try to throw things at the wall, see what works. Ultimately, the best thing to do is just to take action. I, this being the first video, the quality probably isn't going to be the best. But I guess this can kind of just be an introduction to who I am. My name is Logan. I'm 33 years old. Um, and yeah, pretty alone. I feel like a lot of people nowadays are kind of going through the same thing, just the way technology and phones and stuff like that. Um, Everybody's kind of dealing with a struggle. The world's kind of crazy nowadays. So I'm just making this to possibly reach out to people, maybe meet some new people. Pretty much just express myself, even if this channel is just for me and it doesn't gain any traction or anything like that. Like I mentioned before, this isn't the easiest time for me. I don't know, I kind of feel like no part of my life has been necessarily easy for one reason or the other. Recently just went through a separation with my fiance. We were together for about 3 years. So yeah, kind of have this big empty house to myself. Figured I would maybe start making videos, vlogging a bit, seeing if I can connect with anybody. I think my video taking skills are gonna improve over time, and yeah, just throwing things at the wall, seeing what works. Yeah, like I said, just going through a separation. I have 3 kids: Liam, Lillian, and Barrett, which makes it, I don't know. I never wanted to be in a situation where I was raising my kids as a single person. But yeah, here we are. So, like I said before, I feel like a lot of people are finding themselves in tough situations and are maybe struggling to find something that they can relate to, find something that gives them hope. One thing I'm proud of going through this tough season of my life is that I refuse to backslide. I was about 250 pounds, all the way down to 215. Plan on going down to 170, and then from there, kind of build muscle, maybe explore options there. If you guys would like to hear more about like that side of things and the weight loss and stuff, previous to my relationship, I was already at about 165 pounds. It's a grand total. I've lost about 130 pounds through my life, so fairly good at that. I feel like getting your body in check and doing exercises like that, really help teach you discipline. If your body is getting to the point where it's, where it's disciplined and where you want it to be, the mind kind of follows from there. With all things in life, nothing that is easy is worth having, and all of what you're wishing for is behind those things that you are shying away from and don't really want to pursue. And that's just kind of the perspective that I'm taking on all this. If you're going through hell, you might as well push the pedal to the metal and get through it as quick as possible, kind of just put yourself to the grindstone, keep working at it. That's how I got out of the first really brutal. Like I said, no part of my life was necessarily that straightforward or easy. Unfortunately, I have a tendency to have to learn things the hard way. But I mean, it's not necessarily the worst thing. Hopefully I'm able to still piece together a great life, despite this. I think it will. It just builds character. Builds character and grit. And the best thing you can do from situations like this is just learn from it. Learn from it. For a long time, you're going to be the only person in the stands that's cheering. So the only person that you have ultimately at the end of the day is yourself. So invest into yourself. Do whatever you can to improve the situation. Especially in times of loneliness, there really isn't much else to do. I used to drink. I used to smoke. I had a lot of frivolous relationships and things like that, and ultimately that's just going to detract from what you're truly trying to accomplish. Having lost myself in this past relationship, I suppose I had to be reminded of that. And that's going to be the major challenge isn't really staying on top of these things when you're in a good position in life. The biggest challenge is to not lose yourself and forget the substance that was able to get you to the top of that mountain. It doesn't stop once you reach the summit of that proverbial mountain. There's a whole mountain range behind it. You just gotta keep climbing. I fell into the foolish assumption that I made it. I found the girl of my dreams. I'm set, So I let go of the things that got me to the dance. I let myself gain all that weight back. I stopped really pursuing things that, made me feel fulfilled. Also not really having like other friendships and stuff. Obviously, I'm kind of just talking about like the now. In future videos, I can really get into the nitty gritty and how we got here. But yeah, I guess we can kind of backtrack and go. So my first relationship I got into when I was really young. I was about 18, 19 years old. And that's how my parents kind of, did it. They were high school sweethearts. So I thought that was like an indicator of success, is finding a girl making a family, loving her from early on, and living your life. I was very naive. That was like that's a very rare thing to acquire, is just finding a relationship that early and having it last. The amount of naivety, man. Jeez. If I could only know what I know now, I would have done so many things differently. But yeah, that's kind of just life. You kind of got to step in the shed and roll around and hack through the woods and try to figure out stuff. For some people, I guess, other people are smarter and they're just able to actually listen to good advice and, not be so egotistical or hard-headed to, stumble into these traps, to have to go through it the hard way. But it is what it is. But long story short, I had my daughter with her. I adopted my son out of that relationship and ended up falling apart when I was 23. These long-term relationships, when they fall through, it was especially brutal to me because, like I said, I come from a family that when you say you love somebody, you mean it. You stick it out. People aren't perfect. But again, that was kind of a naive perspective on it. You only live one life. I don't necessarily blame her for leaving me, or even in this situation. Currently in therapy. I don't know, there's a whole other, it goes way deep. But after that first relationship, I really kind of just went off the deep end. I didn't handle it the best way at all. Kind of turned towards drinking, frivolous relationships, and just kind of digging the hole even deeper until I kind of got tired of it and completely did a 180 and started really getting into boxing and working out and running and stuff like that. And that's how I got on my whole first weight loss journey, because I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of making the same mistakes. I'm sick of finding myself in these situations. I was proud of myself for doing that. Eventually, it almost killed me. Like, that was the closest that I ever came to calling it quits. Through those frivolous relationships and getting into drinking and smoking and stuff like that, I compromised a lot of relationships that were near and dear to me. I lost all of my close childhood friends that I'd been friends for decades because of it. And ultimately, I had nobody to blame but myself. And there was not really any good way. There was no justifying it. The weight of that fell solely on my shoulders, which was crushing, because even despite all that, I still considered myself a very loving, caring person. I was just not in the right place to be able to express that in a genuine way. That's kind of the big story. I'm in therapy currently. I got a lot of work to do there. I'm trying to untangle all of these things that lead me to the outcomes, like lead me to kind of that antisocial aspect of it, because I don't want to be alone. There's no life to live. I'd like to meet new friends. I don't really know how. I'm desperately trying to fix my relationship, but I even feel like I'm failing at that. I was diagnosed with OCD at a very young age. And I'm also a truck driver, so it's a lot of solitary Lonely time, just on the road. Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard to deal with. A lot of time to ruminate, especially with my obsessive tendencies and the rumination and the terrible emotions that come with it. It is it's a lot. So I'm hoping with therapy. I'm recently got health insurance and things like that. So I'm hoping with therapy and talking to the doctors and maybe even psychiatrists. So I don't know. I can find a better way to level myself because I don't really have anybody. I don't even really have the best. Like I can talk to my mother, but I don't even really have the best relationship with my family. I haven't talked to my brother in years. The only person I did have, which kind of led to the downfall, like you still need friends. You need a robust, like your fiance cannot be the end all be all. Like you don't, she's not a therapist. She's not your friend. She's not your mom. You can't expect her. You can't expect your significant other to be able to tolerate, all that stuff. Nobody wants to be around that kind of negativity, no matter how much you love the person. Yeah, so the ultimate goal is just being able to regulate that a lot better. Being able to regulate it, being able to find the appropriate outlets, and ultimately just getting back to being a fun person. Because nobody, that's the thing. Like if you roll around, in the sorrow and the shit, and just woe is me. Why isn't this going this way? Why isn't that going that way? It's no way to live. No way to live at all. So yeah, I'm just dedicated. This is kind of the reason why I'm making this YouTube video. Maybe even if it's just like a video that I can go back and check on my progress and stuff like that. I'm 33 years old. Not necessarily old, but I'm not necessarily young anymore. I don't know if you can see it, but there's plenty of white hair coming in, so this is it. This is the final run. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. The weight loss is going good. I know I can do that. I know I can master my body, and hopefully that comes across in like the videos. And with these videos, I don't know. I just hopefully people can relate to me. I would love to be able, to respond to the comments. If you guys have any like stories you'd like to share, I definitely want to be active with that. I'm trying to meet new people, find friendships, find people that are going through common situations, and who knows what the future might hold. I'm sure it's going to take a lot more videos. I'm going to try to upload daily. Have a lot of time on my hands, so I'm going to try to, get videos out there daily. I'm obviously brand new. I'm gonna learn how to edit better, put together better videos, stuff like that. Maybe even have scripts or overall topics that I can stay on. I know this was kind of rambly. If you made it to the end of this video, God bless you. I know it's probably kind of rough, especially in the beginning. I don't know if there'll be much editing to it, so it's gonna be kind of raw, being the first video. But who knows? I'm gonna stick to this the same way with like the therapy and stuff like that, and it's kind of exciting. Like who knows? I'm sure it'll take 100, 200, 300 videos, but maybe by then, with a little bit of traction, sky's the limit. Podcasts, making meetups, chat groups, all that stuff. It would be crazy. Like, and hopefully I can inspire people, because even being 33, going through 2 terrible breakups, like drug abuse, a rocky upbringing and stuff like that, like I hopefully, hopefully people can relate to me and take hope it's never too late to change your stars. Like I said, nothing that is easy is worth having. Maybe this is just another lesson in life. Maybe I wasn't all the way, all the way done with them. So but I'm committed. It's easy to do all this in the bad times, but I really want to keep this up, even if I do get the love of my life back. And even if things start turning up, I do not want to let off the gas. I want to stay committed. I want to do the very best that I can, be the very best person that I can. I want to be a happy person that I just want to spread love, love and happiness, and hopefully, plant the seeds and grow the garden, maybe it'll attract some butterflies and some good people that I can share that with. And that's ultimately what I would love to have, is just a good community. We can talk about things, like I said, this world with everything that's going on is getting a bit crazy. So if this could turn into some kind of harbor where people can, check in, say some stuff that they're dealing with in their life, I'd love to stay active with it. I'll respond to anything. Like I said, I have a really good background in weight loss. Probably going to start up college here soon. I would like to maybe become an entrepreneur, even in like my spare time, I've been messing around with like vibe coding and things like that, to maybe make like some apps or websites or anything like that. And yeah, maybe hopefully we get some like connection out of this, some camaraderie, and yeah, I'm just trying to be humble. I'm trying to stay to the grind, stick myself back in the forge, temper myself a little bit better, and I want to keep this going forever. Like whatever time I have left on this world, I want to try to make it the best that I can. And I don't want to be alone. I want to make meaningful connections. All these things come with time and a lot of effort, but hopefully this is a step in the right direction. And I never thought that I would be making videos or posting them to YouTube or anything like that. So this is going to be tough. It's going to be a journey. But even if I get a handful of subscribers, who knows? It'd be mind blowing even to get 100 or 1,000 or who knows. But I'm here for it, and might as well utilize some of this technology in a good way. But yeah, if anybody else is going through a really tough time, I just hope you keep your heads up. You are what you have at the end of the day, so treat yourself with love and compassion. Give yourself forgiveness. And just try to be the best that you can every day. Some days you're gonna be tired. Some days you're gonna be pissed. Some days it's just life. You're going to run into stuff, but keep your head up. Keep your head up. And keep going. There is hope. I thought there was no hope with my 6-year solo adventures. I thought I was really close to the brink, but there is. If you turn around and you do the right things, and it comes from a good place, there is hope. You'll find somebody that wants all those same things. Nobody really wants to be alone. Things will come your way, but you got to build the garden. Build the garden, do the things that you need to do, and it will attract the good things that you're looking for in the end. So keep your head up. Leave a comment, subscribe. I'm going to try to do it every day. And yeah, just keep on rolling. Thank you for watching. Like I said, I'm trying to daily upload, so if you want, join me for the journey. I'd be more than happy to talk to you, maybe give some advice if I can, and hopefully somebody relates to this. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.